So hey guys, what's up? This is Ed, or perhaps as you know me, Infidel Amsterdam. I'm sitting here with my girlfriend Ali. We decided to make a sort of a podcast talking about all kinds of subjects. We used to talk a lot to each other, and we kind of came up with the idea to have these thoughts and opinions put into a podcast. I put a little Facebook thing online asking if people were interested in this. Even asked if people would like to come up with a name for this podcast. And there was this guy, Ludwig Belmont, who posted on my Infidel Amsterdam page the name AlienatEd. It also, it basically contains both Ali and my name and AlienatEd. It kind of fits very well with what we're up with this channel, isn't it?
We like it. It's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. It sounds good. So I want to thank Ludwig for this idea. We decided to use it. And Ludwig, if you're listening, I'll see. I have some stuff around here because I told in that Facebook thing that people could win something. So I'll grab something cool for you and I'll contact you to send it your way. So this is a subject that I wanted to tackle for quite a while. I made some Facebook posts about it. It triggered quite a lot of people. It was kind of funny to have these discussions. I've been talking to Ali a lot about this subject, and we were like, you know what, before you make the video, why don't we do it together as a podcast? And I thought that was a very good idea. Basically, it was actually Ali's idea, but I thought it was a good idea, so we came up with a new channel. People also recommended it to make a new channel instead of on my own channel, which basically focused on metal. So here we are, new, different channel, and our first subject, and as you can read it in the title, it's about tattoos in the workplace, and I hope you're gonna like it.
We hope you guys enjoy it, and there will be more to come, so let us know what you think, and, you know.
Let's see where we get or where we can go with this video. So we're gonna start off, and we hope you guys like it. All right, let's see what we have.
It's absolutely disgusting. The stereotype. Anyone would have a problem with my hair, with my piercings, with my tattoos. Shame on you.
All right, first of all, whoa. That is a strong aesthetic you got going on there, buddy. Like, I mean, I knew coming into this that there were probably going to be some people who looked a little, you know, a little different, but that guy looks like he just strolled out of a K-pop music video. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but also, like, stereotyping, and, you know, I mean, just like you said, thanks for the visual aid, you know, I mean, you're not talking to, like, a children class, like, this is hair, this is tattoo, this is piercing, you know, like, come on, you know.
Make sure to point to it, because it's not like I have eyes or anything.
Yeah, I wonder why I'm not being hired, you know, I mean, is this phone, is this fax, computer, you know, just...
Whoa. I think these people are a little confused as to what stereotype means. Like, a stereotype is like, Asian women are bad drivers, or, you know, something along those lines. Nobody is saying people with tattoos are bad workers. That's not a stereotype. They may have potentially some type of prejudice going on toward people with tattoos, but it's not a stereotype. He's using that word incorrectly, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if somebody would say, like... Just like you said, someone with tattoos is a bad worker, or somebody said in his face, like, I bet you're a criminal because you have tattoos and you look like a peacock walking around on Halloween, then that's, you know, a stereotype. But if he would walk into a bank looking like this, then there's no stereotype. That's just not suitable for that bank, you know. It's like complaining about their own choices that they made. And it's funny because this video goes on as well. Let's see what more we have.
It's a new day and age where the smartest person could be the most tatted, pierced. It's a new time. It's a new era.
Again, that's just assuming that someone who's tattooed can be the smartest, but it can also be the dumbest butthole that's walking around. I mean, this is just absolutely a lame, lazy, and empty statement. There's just nothing in there.
It also just doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like saying the smartest guy in the room might be the most heavily tatted guy in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
And like,
so what?
What does that have to do with anything? Like, intelligence may or may not be a factor in the job that you are doing. Like, sorry, that's just how it is. Like, it doesn't take a lot of fucking brain power to sit there and flip burgers. It depends on what you're doing. That may not be something that they care about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's... these people come up with a bunch of arguments that hold nothing together whatsoever. You know, the smartest person might be the heaviest tattoo person.
They're just a bunch of shallow statements that don't really equate to anything and have anything to do with the main point of what they're trying to express to you.
Yeah, it might be. It also might not be. So what's weighing heavier? You know, are we gonna do an IQ test of everyone that comes along? No.
I went up for a job interview that was more in the corporate world. They wouldn't give me the job because I have tattoos, but none that would have been visible during work.
All right. Did you go to your interview in a tank top? That's my first question.
He does wear a tank top, though.
Exactly. Well, I'm like, if none of them would have been visible during work, how did they see them at your interview? Yeah. Maybe cover them up to begin with so that they don't even have a chance to possibly discriminate against you.
Could be that they asked him, like, do you have tattoos? But if he would be just wearing a shirt, he could have just, like, lie his butt off and say, like, I don't have tattoos.
Yeah, you could just say no, or you could say none that would be visible when I'm working, or something. Like, it seems like the people who are the most concerned about these things are people who have, like, face tattoos, or a tattoo up the side of your neck or something. Like, something that you can't cover. Like, I really, really highly doubt that your employer is going to, number one, even ask you in general if you have tattoos. I doubt that that'll happen in the first place. And number two, somehow just be like, oh, you have a tattoo on your ankle that nobody will ever see? Okay, well, no, you can't work for us. Like, that doesn't happen. That's not a thing.
I mean, just like you said, they can ask, but they're not going to strip search you. You know, it's not like you have to appear in your underwear to see if you have a tattoo somewhere. So if you would just say, like,
squat and cough. We gotta check your ass crack.
Maybe you have one on the inside. We have to be thorough here.
Really though, like, they're not gonna be thorough about it, and honestly, you can just say that you don't have them if you think it might influence your ability to get the job.
I mean, and I understand to a certain point where if you work somewhere and you can just cover it with a regular t-shirt that it's slightly annoying because you really want a job and you think you're suitable for it and they deny you the job because you have a tattoo. In the end, it's their business and they have the right to deny it, you know? And you know, people don't think, and they certainly want to push their consequences and responsibilities into other people, their lap, you know, like, I do whatever the fuck I want, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah,
like,
at the end of the day, it's you who made the decision to get the tattoo, so it's your problem. Like,
yeah.
I understand that, you know, you feel that you may be more qualified than someone else. However, you made this choice. You have to deal with the outcome. That's just what happens. Like, that's
absolutely.
life. That's being an adult. That's just how it is. Like,
yeah, for some reason, they feel that they are so special. I mean, a lot of the arguments that you get, and I posted this a few times on my Facebook, and there were people that told me that I needed to be ashamed of myself for speaking out against this because I do have tattoos and I do have piercings.
Here's the thing, though. You have tattoos, you have piercings, you have some tattoos that possibly could be seen as satanic or something, some kind of anti-religious thing. You have infidel right on your arm, you know?
Yeah.
But would you expect to wear a t-shirt and go to a fucking church and be like, hey, can you hire me? Would you expect them to be totally cool with this?
Yeah, I mean, these people always kind of pretend that they have no fucking clue how this world works, you know? They get a tattoo. They do know how the world works because a lot of people will tell you before you get your first tattoo, remember, it might hurt your job chances and other prospects in life. They do know how it works and they deliberately take the choice to go and have a tattoo and then have another one and another one. And the same happened to me. I knew upfront what I was getting myself into. I knew that I would never be working in a 5-star hotel or in a restaurant or stuff like that. I knew I was going to work in security or in construction, which is exactly what I do. And in those kinds of jobs, they don't really mind having a tattoo. But they go into a tattoo parlor, get out, and then pretend as if they just been born, like they have no fucking clue what this world is about. You know, they do know that they will be judged, and then pretend like, oh, I didn't know that, but I have freedom of expression. I can do this, I can do that. You know,
well, the thing is also, there are tattoo artists out there who will refuse to tattoo someone's face because they don't want to hurt your opportunities later in life.
Yeah.
Even the person giving you the tattoo realizes that there are consequences to doing this. If you are so inept that you can't comprehend why someone might not hire you because you have ink all over your fucking face or all over your neck or all over your body where everybody can see it, then you probably shouldn't be getting tattoos to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and what I also wonder is if a company is as bad as they make it seem, discriminatory against people with tattoos, then why the fuck would you want to work there in the first place? Why would you, and this was a petition that was going around on Facebook a long time ago, to force employers to hire people who have tattoos. Why would you want to go to a company, sit in front of a boss or an employer, however you want to call it, know for yourself that this guy actually doesn't want to hire you, that he actually looks at you and thinks like, you are totally not suitable for my company, but since you guys kept nagging, the government made a law, so I'm forced now to hire you. So yes. You work there, everybody hates your guts because they don't want you there. Everybody does what this job requires. They wear the outfit, they don't have tattoos, they cover their tattoos, they take out the piercings, and then you come along and you just don't give two shits about that because you force this company to hire you.
Well, just why do you want to work in an environment where everyone around you doesn't think that you're qualified or doesn't think that you're suitable for the job? I wouldn't want to work alongside people who just hate me right from the outset, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I get this a lot where people say, my tattoos do not represent my professionality. I might be the best one for this job. Might be. But, I mean, no, actually not might be. It's
unlikely.
It's very unlikely. I think the majority of the people in this world do not have a certain skill that makes them so damn popular that an employer is going to do whatever it takes to hire you.
Well, exactly. The thing is, if you truly are the end-all be-all, you're the fucking grand poobah of whatever it is, whatever it is that you want to be doing, you are the shit, you're the one, you're the most experienced, they're not going to care because they're just going to want you regardless because you are the best. Like, that's how it is. These people are thinking along those lines, I am the best. No, you're not. There are hundreds of other people who could do the exact same job as you. I could understand to some level if you truly are just the absolute best at whatever it is that you're doing and they won't hire you because of how you look. That kind of makes sense to me. That would be a little bit ridiculous. But in the end, they're missing out. And somebody will hire you. They will. Someone will hire you regardless. Like,
oh, absolutely. I also think that people make it sound more harsh than it actually is. I mean, I walk around in Amsterdam and I see tram conductors, I see police officers, I see all sorts of people working with piercings and with tattoos. And in the end, it's about your income. It's about your bills that you need to pay. It's about having a daily routine instead of sitting at home and scratching your ass. I mean, if you're not willing to sacrifice a little thing to make sure you have a steady income, then, you should just go to like a welfare bureau or agency or whatever you want to call it and just say like, hey, I just don't want to do anything to be able to get a job, so I'll just have to cash welfare.
Well, the thing is, if you knew from the beginning that you wanted to work at a specific place, why did you do this to yourself to begin with? Like, maybe you need to lower your expectations a little bit on who might hire you based on how you look, or maybe you need to tone it down a little bit. Like, I understand that if you want to look a certain way, then that's how you want to portray yourself, but you're at work. This is your professional self, your professional persona. who you are outside of work is not the same as who you are at work. And that's the same for everyone. Even if you're a fucking missionary or something, you're still different when you're out of work than when you're at work. So you need to be able to make that distinction between, oh, here's my fucking rager party self, I'm going to bring that into my work environment. No, nobody wants that, and that is what you're bringing to the table. I'm sorry. No. People don't want to see that when they're trying to have a professional business. You know, that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's I read this comment on one of those videos just a few minutes ago where somebody said, like, all these old people just need to shut the fuck up. They're pretending, or they're...
Oh, I'm old as shit over here, 23. Just fucking
seriously,
throw me out in the garbage.
You're an old hag. I gotta be sorry here.
I'm basically 6 feet under already. Like.
Yep. 1 foot in the grave. But this person said, like, you know, you guys are acting as if these people kill someone, you know, with your consequences. And I'm like, you're dumb as shit. I mean, everything you do in life has consequences. And the problem is that people are so goddamn entitled these days that they want to do whatever they want. They want to say whatever they want. They want to express themselves the way they want. And they can have all that. But they forget, and they kind of know, but they just, with these kinds of videos, try to put all their consequences and their responsibilities away from them. That's other people's problem. They have all the freedom, they have all the rights, and in the meanwhile, with their freedom, they're taking other people's freedom away. Somebody built a career creating a company which he has like a certain view for, like, I want this company, I want to do that, and I want people to represent this company looking a certain way. And then you come along and you say, like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. You've built this for years and years, but you're going to change your shit because of me, because I'm so goddamn special.
It's just a very childish outlook on life to think, I'm going to do whatever I want, and everyone else is just going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry, this is fucking society. Everyone conforms to some degree, okay? You can't just do whatever you want all the time and expect your life to be perfect. It doesn't work like that. No. And if you haven't realized that by the time you're an adult, it might be just too late for you. Like,
all hope is gone.
Honestly, though, like, how can you get into your adult life and get to this point where you're thinking, I just don't understand why nobody will hire me? I mean, I'm just fucking baffled by it. I mean, I know that my entire face is tattooed, and I'm literally only going to professional businesses and religious institutions to try to get hired, but what does that have to do with anything? Like, they should just hire me for me. Why does nobody understand my life? Like, it's such an emo, little shitty attitude to have.
Yeah, seriously.
Just get over yourself and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and where is this gonna end? I mean, these people are all for freedom of expression, but okay, so
how far are we gonna take it?
Yeah, how far is that gonna go? I mean, now it's having a tattoo and a piercing. So if we're gonna give in to that, then basically you would also have to give in to uniforms. I am forced to well, not forced, but it's recommended to wear white at work as a plasterer, painting work, tile work, because it looks more professional. You're more recognizable as a plasterer, and if you spill some shit, it just doesn't show as much as you would wear black, because mostly I wear black. I have absolutely no problem showing up in completely white on my work.
It also makes you look cleaner.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. And if we're gonna be bending our head to this, like, okay, you know, you can do whatever you want, and I'll conform completely to you. I'll change my entire fucking company that I've built for years completely for you because you made a decision and I have to deal with this now. If we're gonna bend our heads to that, then I could show up tomorrow in a clown's costume at work and tell my boss, like, yeah, you can fuck off with your white suit because, you know, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is my freedom of expression, and you'll just have to deal with it, you know?
Well, here's the thing, okay? Let's say that I work at a nuclear power plant, okay? And instead of wearing, you know, some kind of radiation gear or something, because I'm directly dealing with nuclear power, I'm supposed to wear some kind of protection, okay? What if I feel like, no, I don't want to do that. So I show up to work in just regular clothes or just just whatever. Some people might say, well, that's different. That's a safety issue. Well, it kind of is too when you're dealing with piercings or with tattoos, because if it's fresh or if it's new and if you've been fiddling with it and then you're touching people's food or touching people's, if you're working in like, I don't know, in healthcare or something, you could be passing on, some, maybe not diseases, but you could be passing on
a bunch of germs and
infectious germs or something. You could be passing on something. And just in general, there are probably people coming to your business who don't want to see your fucking raw, nasty, new piercing. Like, that doesn't exactly say, like, come eat here to me. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these people also blame a lot of the companies themselves. Like, you guys don't want to hire me because you discriminate and you have prejudice against tattooed people and whatnot. But they forget that most companies have to deal with customers. And a lot of customers, still a lot of people out there, and to me it's also a little bit exaggerated, still a lot of people kind of look at tattooed people as if they have leprosy, like, ooh, I just don't want to. It's exaggerated. For me, it's also like, come on, a tattoo is a tattoo, but these people exist. They are the ones.
They are a very small minority.
Of course.
I have never met someone ever in my entire life, regardless of age, and I worked in an old folks home for a period of time, who was that strongly against tattoos. Never. I have never met someone ever who was that strongly against tattoos. Yes, they exist. They're out there. But they're a very small minority of people. So just keep that in mind,
Absolutely. But, I mean, where I was going is, like, this boss, this owner of the company knows that his customers might have a problem with it. His customers are the ones that bring in the money. And you create this company with a certain view and you want people to work for you. And that just comes with a bunch of rules. You can't go to a company and just think that you can make the rules. Just like some other girl in a video said, it's my body, my rules. Yeah, okay, so what do you think a company has? Like, no rules? I mean, if that's the thing, then I'll show up tomorrow at like 10 a.m. and say like, well, yeah, I'm not going to start at 7 because this is my freedom of expression. There's no rules, it's my body, my rules, my choices. It just doesn't work that way. They have like this utopian view of the world where nobody judges each other, where everybody accepts each other. And I'll bet your ass that if they would walk into a court tomorrow where there's a judge and there's this guy, just like the guy from the video, walking around like a pink colored toilet brush, the first thing they're gonna be like, huh? They are gonna be, and at that point you're already kind of shocked that someone like that is sitting there. I mean, they all kind of pretend as if nobody should judge, and they are never judging. Everybody judges to a certain extent,
Well, I mean, we also kind of have to keep in mind that, like I said before, I've never met anyone who is that prejudiced against people with tattoos.
No.
I think these people who are complaining about this are people who are heavily tattooed. People who are tattooed probably on the neck and face area. People who probably are unable to cover them. Like, we're talking about a small minority of people who are already tatted up to the degree that it would affect their work.
Yeah.
So, like, we have to kind of remember also that while almost nobody out there really gives a fuck if you have a tattoo, they do give a fuck if you have a fucking teardrop tattoo on your face or something like that. Like, if you, let's say you're doing something important. Let's say maybe you are going in for surgery, okay? And you meet up with your surgeon, and the first surgeon that you meet up with, because you're shopping around, you're looking for the person that you want the most. Both of these people are, they both have good experience, they both have good reviews, okay? The first guy is a refined man. He's, he seems like he's clean cut, he looks very professional, he looks like someone that you would trust with your surgery, okay? And then you go over to the next surgeon, just, to see if he's cool too. And he's got fucking pink hair, he's got it gelled, he's got face tattoos that are, some of them may or may not be offensive to you. Like, he does not look like the typical idea that you would have in your head for professional, for trustworthy. This guy looks like he just walked in from a fucking rave.
Yeah.
Is that someone that you would trust? I would not, personally. Like, and you can say all you want. Oh, I would trust him. I would fucking trust him, whatever. You're lying if that's what you're saying. Because you would judge someone to some degree what they look like. Everyone does it. Yeah. Everyone judges everyone. That's how it works. If you say that you've never judged anyone in your fucking life, you're a liar. That's just how it is.
Definitely. I mean, if you walk over the street and you see like this morbidly obese person and you just keep on looking like, you know, like, I mean, you don't want to look, but it's like a car crash. You can't look away, you know? And you think to yourself, or you say under your breath, like, holy shit. That's a judgmental thing right there, you know?
And just because you see that person who is, like, super obese or something like that, doesn't mean, fuck that guy, I hate that guy. It's just, whoa, that's different than what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
And once again, you're looking for a trainer, okay? You're looking for someone to whip you into shape. Are you gonna hire fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger 20 years ago, or this fucking fat guy? Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna pick the guy who suits the profession better. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you see, like, a midget firefighter, you know?
Yeah, and that's also a health hazard. Like, because number one, like,
they would just toss him into the building with a bucket of water. You know?
Jesus Christ. Well,
pick him up.
But it would be a health hazard also, like, because firefighters need to be able to carry a certain amount of weight. They need to be able to do things. Like, they're pretty fit guys. They need to be able to pull themselves through the fucking rubble and shit. They need to be able to do a lot of stuff that you may not be able to do if you are a midget, or if you're disabled, or if you're, you know, have some kind of body integrity issue. Like, you just can't expect these people to be on the same level as someone who is already perfect for the job description.
Yeah,
they cannot tailor the job to fit you. They tailor you to fit the job. Exactly. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, they throw it in a lot of cases on discrimination, and some even have, like, the audacity to compare themselves with black people or a transgender person, and they say,
or
like...
Or gay people. We saw gay people, too.
Gay people, exactly. I mean, they say, like, so if they can deny me a job for having a tattoo, they can also deny somebody for being black or being gay. I'm like,
oh my God, that's
how
such
the fuck does this connect inside your head? How does this compare? I mean...
Being black, being gay, being trans, whatever, any of those things are not a choice. Yeah. They are something that you are either born with, or that, you know, you don't have the ability to say, oh, I'm not going to be this today. Yeah. That's not how it works.
There's absolutely no control over that, you know? I mean, you eventually make the choice to walk into a tattoo shop and to get out fully tattooed. I mean, do these people really walk into a tattoo shop, walk out again, and then point at a black guy and say, like, hey, we're the same now?
Yeah, how you doing,
I would say,
brother?
like, hey, black guy, punch the fucking shit out of this guy, because, you know, that's absolute fucking bullshit.
Equating yourself to someone who has been discriminated against at a societal level, at a fucking workplace level, sometimes at a human level, okay? Trying to compare yourself to that because you made the choice to get your body decorated in some way is just so far from reality. I can't even imagine how you could possibly think that way in a serious way. Like, seriously.
It's absolutely victimizing yourself in a disgusting way, you know? That's just...
You just want something to complain about at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, I saw a bunch of those comments where people kept on referring to themselves as, like, well, you know, comparing it with black people. I was like, this just cannot be true. You can have an opinion saying, like, it's annoying that they won't hire me with tattoos. Yeah, sure, I understand that. I've been denied a job as well where they said, like, you know, I don't like your tattoos. Even my own boss that I work for 10 years now asked me when I came at my job interview, I came in shorts, I had my long hair back then, like, hanging loose. I wore a bunch of rings. He could see all my tattoos. And he asked, as like a plasterer, like, you do realize that not everybody is gonna appreciate those tattoos. And I sat there on the spot, like, if you want me to, I'll wear a long sleeve shirt so I can cover my tattoos. And he said, like, it's not necessary, but you work at people's houses plastering their stuff, so you might encounter people who are not gonna like this. And I'm like, that's fine, you know? That's what I knew when I started with this. Even my own mom hates my fucking tattoos. Now I hate her as well, so, you know. But, yeah, I mean, so it's all leveled. But, yeah, you know, you gotta know what you get yourself into and don't act as if you don't know shit about the world. You know?
It also kind of bothers me that these people, like you said, they're kind of victimizing themselves to some degree. They're also kind of just pussies, to be completely honest. Like, how... I just can't even imagine thinking, like, oh my god, I feel so bad about just my life, and I'm basically the same as a fucking slave because of this, and I'm a second-class citizen. It's like, alright, calm the fuck down, Rosa Parks, alright? Holy shit. I'm just like, get over yourself. How are you this, like, down on yourself? Like, you made the choice to do this to yourself. I understand that once you do it, it's basically permanent, unless you were going to get it lasered off or something. But who made the choice to begin with? You did.
Yeah.
All you have to blame is yourself.
Absolutely.
You cannot put the blame on anyone else because it was you who did this to yourself. I don't understand it, how people are just so far removed from reality.
And just like this girl.
I was so scared I wouldn't get the job that I took out the piercing for the interview.
You poor fucking baby, okay? You had to take out your piercing. Oh my god. Should we just fucking Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Oh my god, I had to take out my piercing. Oh my god. There are, like, atrocities going on all around the world, and you're fucking whining and crying here about having to take out your piercing just for the work day, and then you can put it back in. Holy fuck. Get a grip.
Yeah,
Get a grip.
If that's one of your problems in life, then your life's really not that bad.
Talk about first world problems. Like,
yeah,
Jesus
seriously.
fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, some people feel as if their rights are being denied by the work atmosphere or by the companies, and I'm like, getting a tattoo is not something that's mandatory in life. You can get through life without tattoos. But they make it look as if they can't get through life without a tattoo or without a piercing.
However will I live without piercing my fucking face? You know what I mean, though? That they're making it into this, like, dramatic fucking thing.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
It's like, oh my god, you had to take out your piercing for 8 hours?
Yeah, do you...
Just fucking shoot yourself. How are you gonna live? Like,
do we need to call someone? You want to lay down for a few hours?
Seriously, do we need to call the fucking ambulance for you? Like, holy Christ. Calm down.
Yeah, seriously.
I would feel like they would lose a lot of business and they would lose a lot of style.
We need to see beyond all stereotypes and the conditioning that we were brought into to think that it's more respectable to wear a suit than something else.
Alright. Where exactly are you trying to work where you think that they care about style? Are you trying to work for Hot Topic or some shit?
Well, I mean, that guy with the pink hair would be perfect for Hot Topic.
He really would be. They'd hire him on the spot just because he looks the part, you know?
But he's probably just, you know, too arrogant to work there or whatever. Like,
I bet he works there right now.
And even there he gets fired because of his shitty attitude, you know?
Honestly, though, okay, dude, just to everyone out there who's listening, you can look however the fuck you want. I really don't care. However, this dude is like 40, okay? He is, and it's like, you know, you do you. If you want to have pink hair and have it covering half your fucking face, then go right ahead. But you don't look normal. You don't look like someone who is your age.
This is a look that kind of screams attention. You know, you do this kind of stuff to have people look at it, to summon a certain reaction from people. And when people do react, you start to complain that it's not the reaction that you wanted, you know?
I mean, here's the thing, too. You might do it for yourself. You might think, this looks cool, this is how I want to look, okay?
Nobody thinks this looks cool, okay? Except for him, like, fuck that.
But let's just pretend that somebody thinks that this is how I want to look.
Okay, there's probably some guy living on a North Pole who thinks, like, whoa, this is...
Alright, all the scene kids from the early 2000s are, like, jizzing over this, okay?
Ew.
They are.
Yeah, okay.
Ring up fucking what's-her-face, Kiki Cannibal, and see what the fuck she says about it. This is not the look of someone who you would typically see in a professional position,
No.
okay? If you work at Hot Topic, if you work at a fucking tattoo parlor, if you work for maybe some design companies or something, if you work as like an alternative model or something,
No.
your look is great. Go right ahead. But don't expect a fucking bank or a church
No.
or something like that to look at you and be like, oh yeah, totally, this is definitely the image that I want.
Yeah, seriously, you walk into the Hilton looking like this, and they go like, that's the guy we need, especially behind the bar, just...
We want this guy right in the front.
Yeah, like, this is our advertisement.
This is what we want our business to appeal to. We want, this is our business, this is the face of our business, this guy. This fucking guy with the pink ass hair who's like 40, like...
We need something. I mean, Coca-Cola has Santa Claus, you got the Easter Bunny, we as the Hilton have this, whatever the fuck it is.
We have this fucking guy.
Yeah, and just like that girl as well, I mean, I would think they lose a lot of business. Who made you so fucking special that you think that you would get into a fucking company and if you go, you are absolutely not that fucking special, Just like we said before, there are only a handful of people in this world that have such a skill that they are irreplaceable or that a company would do fucking everything and accept everything to hire them. You are absolutely not costing any company money if you would leave.
Also, what kind of a fucking victim complex do you have if you're walking around and you walk into a business and you don't see anyone who has tattoos or piercings and you think, wow, this place must be discriminatory? No, like I would just think, okay, nobody works here who, I probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest. It probably wouldn't even be something that would run through my mind. To say they're going to lose business, no, they're fucking not. They're not going to lose business because nobody knows what's going on and nobody fucking cares. Like, maybe if they have a big fucking sign out front that says, fuck you if you have tattoos, like, don't come in here, we don't want your business, then yeah, they'll probably lose business. But that's not how it is. Nobody does that.
And how many people are actually being denied for their tattoos? How many employers would actually say to your face, like, well, we're not going to give you this job because you have this and you have that and you got, like, a peacock, a dead peacock on the top of your head. I mean... No good employer would do that because he covers himself for...
He's going to cover his ass so you don't try to sue him or something.
Exactly. I mean, you will never know what he denied you the job for. And I also think that many of these people have this kind of attitude when they go for a job interview. Like, here comes Mr. Special, I'm just going to show these guys why they should hire me. Instead of just being representable and say like, hey, this is me. I would like to have this job, and this is why. They have this sassy, shitty attitude, like, look at me, you should be fucking happy to hire me.
Well, yeah, if you walk into a place beating your chest like a fucking gorilla, thinking like, oh, I'm the shit, you would be lucky to have me. Nobody wants someone with that attitude working there in the first place because it's just annoying. It's obnoxious.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can try to cover that, but bosses are not dumb, I mean, a lot of these people think like bosses are prejudiced and they're stupid. No, these people have been doing this shit for years. Just like my own boss had like job interviews every single year. There's a lot of people that came and they went again. They know exactly who's coming. They see you, you sit down, they have a certain idea, then you start to talk, this idea gets only bigger, and after a half hour, they know exactly if they would want to hire you or not because they have a very good idea of who you are. And you would think like they don't know shit. Yes, they do, So I guess what it all boils down to is that people should just deal with the consequences of their own choices and just take responsibility.
And remember that the world is not going to adapt to you. You have to adapt to the world.
Exactly. Well, I think we covered basically everything that we wanted to say about this subject. Turning to the listeners now, I hope you guys liked the video. It was the very first one. I think Ali and I did the best we could on it.
Things will only get better from here too.
Yeah, absolutely. We only get prettier and stuff like that. All right. No, but seriously, yeah, we hope you guys liked it. And we're just going to do our best to make another one anytime soon. If you got any ideas for... a subject that you would like to talk us about, then let us know. We're always open for suggestions. If this video, this podcast has triggered you immensely because you have a seriously hard time dealing with anybody else's opinions, then also let us know. I mean, we like to have a laugh. So just let us know in general what you thought, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.